Yo, what's good, what's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Perez, aka Cheap Allegations. Poppy, you've been watching 2 Peas in a pot, well, 1 P. Poshi in here. One of her oldest daughters is dating a rapper, and she trying to kill her. It's powered by Young Atlas. Please subscribe, throw me some likes, comments. Ladies, for every comment, I'm buying you a burqa. A fake one, thank you.
So if you were like governor of New York, give me like 3 laws you would pass instantly.
Nobody could ever eat pizza with a fork and knife.
Yeah, you must hate de Blasio.
I mean,
that was terrible.
That was a clown move.
Like, it was.
I mean, I'm be honest with you, I'm never into politics. Like, meaning, like, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not into. I never, and that's something that I never really focus on politics. I never did. That's why I'll never argue with anybody about it. I don't have a side or anything. I never cared. You know what I mean? I know it sounds, and that's not good. I'm going to tell you why. Not to have a side, but not good in the sense of you should know more about your community and who is running it, because that's why these things happen. You know what I mean? That's why, like, I'll give you an example. When first time I ever bought a home, I bought a townhouse. And you had an association fee that you would pay. And these associations, some of them, these fucking people are on power trips. You can't change your door. You can't do this. They have meetings. Meanwhile, you own the fucking home.
That's your fucking house.
So what I learned is how you do it is homeowners could be on the board. You got to be in it to fucking be able to make changes. So, my lady at the time, she became a board member, which is perfect because, then when they said, like, they were going to do this, she's like, I don't agree with that, And that's why I even talk about Combat Son, Chiose, in District 36, and what he's going to do there is bring a breath of fresh air. And somebody, and that's the thing, like, we don't even know who's, I don't know, I'm not into politics, but it's like, what I'm realizing is, though, you got to know who your city council, you got to know who your Congress, so you could try to fix these fucking things that need changing.
That's a fact. So no pizza with a knife and fork. You got 2
No
more.
pizza with a knife and fork. Fix the fucking traffic. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what you got to do, but
something.
It's a good, and also, they got to make New York smell a little bit better.
Oh,
I'm tired of the excuse of, like, think about it. People love coming here. We take New York for granted. Bro, I'll never forget one day I was coming out of the studio. This is Combat Jack Show days. This was when we were in downtown. We were shooting in Engine Room. I mean, we had every podcast there possible. Shooting Brilliant Idiots, Taxstone, The Read. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, that's a wild lineup.
And Combat Jack Show. Yeah.
Word.
And I remember leaving it, coming downstairs and walking to my car, and these people came off a tour bus, and the guy put his arm around his wife, and he was like, New York City, look at this thing. And some guy drove by, and somebody honked us and said, shut the fuck up. And I was like,
that's New York, baby.
That's beautiful. That is New York. I love that. But what I don't think we should deal with anymore, it's like, honestly, like, spend the fuck. We know what I learned through this whole pandemic? The fucking government spends money on what they feel they want to spend money on.
Yeah.
Think about how much money it costs. Even acting. I gotta go get fucking COVID tests. They charge my insurance. Like, fuck, you come up with this fucking thing or whatever. Now people gotta pay for it. People gotta wait online for it. Things gotta be changed. The government, but New York City still smells.
Like
right?
shit.
What about the rats? All the rats.
All the rats.
I know there's food, but what I'm saying is, why don't we, I'm making this up, why don't we spend $100 million and have them exterminate the whole fucking New York City? Now, would it ever go away? I don't know. But what I'm saying is,
like, add that shit to the budget. Like, yeah, we should for how much money New York got. Like, we spent like $6 billion on police.
And here's one more thing.
We can like kill some fucking rats.
Here's one more fucking thing I'll say about New York. Okay, and I love New York. I love what it made me. I love what it gave me. Mm-hmm. I love what it made me. But I don't think you need to be it forever. If you're a New Yorker, go buy a house in fucking Barbados. Why not? Go make it. Go live. I don't like the whole, like, oh, you're not from here anymore. dog, if you spent 30 years in New York and you made it out, you made it.
You made it. That's a fact.
But what city, but hear me out, and I've been to a lot of cities, what city gives you the most opportunity? You could be sitting next to a billionaire at a bar.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, it's a nice shirt you got on. What, you know, I've seen it. I've been around it where it's like you never know who you're around. And you know, I've been to Cincinnati. I've been to all these places that I stayed an extra day, and I was like, what the fuck did I stay an extra day?
for it.
No, and no disrespect. I love
Cincinnati.
I love Cincinnati. Yo, shouts to my man Matt from he owns a sneaker store called Corporate Day. He's a great guy. But I remember going down there, and if you go down there 1-2 days, you extend 2-3 more days. What the fuck you doing?
Yeah, you walla. Cincinnati, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you think you're going to meet an investor down in Cincinnati at a restaurant? I mean, you never know. But what I'm saying is New York gives it to you. Here's my last thing I'll give you in New York. If I was the governor or mayor, whatever the fuck I was, I would work tirelessly to fix these potholes. Okay? You're in New York fucking City. You got $20 million buildings, $100 million buildings right here. Boom! Next thing you know, you got a flat tire. You got Ferraris and Bentleys. They can't even drive down these fucking things.
Word.
How do you drive in the city? I drive in the city, not only is it a video game, that's a whole nother story, but it will bust your fucking suspension,
Your car gets
front end.
fucked up. Like, yeah.
Okay, have a low rider.
You need a fucking tank to drive through the city. Like,
So what I'm saying is spend the fucking money and fix the fucking streets. I'm tired of fucking hitting potholes. And when you hit a pothole, man, sometimes that shit is like a long gong. You know when you hit like a gong, it's like ding.
and your car just keeps shaking and shit. Yeah.
Well, first off, thank you for the love. You know, I'll be honest with you. I remember telling Combat, if I ever started my own show, you know, I wanted it to be different. You know, I love hip hop. That goes without saying. I'm a New Yorker. That goes without saying. I'm a skinny fat kid. That goes without saying.
Fat kid.
You know, I wanted to be diversified. I wanted to one day have an actor on, one day have an athlete, one day have an entrepreneur, one day have an underlord, you know, somebody you don't know. I wanted to tell great stories. And I think a key is, and this is, what's your man's name?
Flea.
Flea, I'm going to give you a shout, Flea.
Got it.
I told Flea, I says, what happens is, most people, when you have all these different type of people on, you know, most people are about themselves. Yo, you check out my podcast. You check out we're doing this, we're doing that, It's a very selfish world. I'm telling you, don't be that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the Premium Pete show is for the people. And what I mean is I have Killer Mike, who's a friend of mine. I love him. Okay? I have him on my show. I say, yo, did you go on Dallas's Penn show? Did you go on Breakfast Club? Did you go on Brilliant Idiots? Did you go here? No? I mean, you know Schultz, right? Oh, hold on. Yo, so you want to have Killer Mike on? Yeah. That's a friend of mine. This is not a competition. See, I get people tell me, who's your competitors? I say nobody. Because the Premium Pete show is for the people. So what I mean by that is, I'm not like, look at me. People love this shit. People love saying that. Hey, you see me? Yeah, we got a big podcast. You know? Yeah, I had this one on, you know. I'm saying, Charlamagne one time, inadvertently, had told me this or something, or said it on a show, I think maybe with Combat. I don't think it was the one with me. He said, if you connect with the audience or the listeners, you'll never lose. Even if they got rid of you on the radio. You know, kind of like what he did. Think about it. He fed a lot of gems to listeners. You know, he put a lot of knowledge in people. Even though he was crazy, he did give a lot of advice. And I feel like I try to do that. I try to give people advice like, yo, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Work on your credit. And even if it's too late, it's never late. Like, meaning give people advice. I want people to get something out of the show. I can show you hundreds of messages of people that said, yo, I had bad days. This show got me through. Because it's not about Premium Pete. It's about showing people like, yo, this guy from Venmo could be you. It's showing that this guy, Eugene Rem, could be you. You could open, you know, and learning the techniques and then putting your spin on it. You know, somebody could be watching and say, oh, I want to start a podcast. But maybe you don't do it like this. Maybe you do it similar because you learn, and then you add a couple of different flavors. Here's the problem. Most people say they want to do it different. They do the same thing.
Yeah.
add flavor and add value into any relationship that you bring. But back to your question, I just love bringing people that many people may not know of. You know, I give you an example of if you feel your podcast, if you got Jay-Z on this podcast, you're probably like, holy shit, this guy fucking be going nuts.
Of course. Nah, he would jump on the podcast.
And it'll be great for your podcast. You'll have the biggest numbers you had, right? But you ready for what I'm going to say to you? What about next week?
Who you got next week? How you follow up, like you said before.
So don't think too much and big. Find in person, like, you know, some people say, you know, I meet people that say, when am I going to be on your podcast? I don't know. I don't want to ever just say, yo, I need someone this week. I want to tell the stories I want to tell. And that's what I do now. And that's what I love doing. That's what I love doing. Because, and the podcast is really, honestly, just the steering wheel of my car or the engine of my car. I still have doors. I have seats. I have a trunk. I mean, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. As corny as that sounds, I'm just being honest. Like it's
I heard that cliche like a lot.
I mean, it may sound
the truth,
corny,
yeah.
but I want to give you the springboard treatment, and I could even go further, but I'll run just from here. I had sneaker stores that I was involved in. I wasn't the sole owner. There was other owners, and they wound up closing the stores down. But I was always networking. I had everybody there. Drake, you know, building relationships, not just building relationships, because I'm a Brooklyn kid, so I never was really starstruck. So what I realized is sneakers was a powerful thing. So I had Michael Douglas come in one time, and he was like, how much are these? And I was like, we don't got those in your side. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, so instead of being a dick, you'd be very, you know, this is why I tell you. I was like, well, those are a Nike SB collab. There's only like 100 of those made. Can you get them in my size? Probably, but it's going to probably be, take my number. So then I thought, I was like, oh, okay. So instead of saying, like, you're going to give me a number, no, yeah, okay, what's your number? And I'll text you when they come in. And I did, and I built like a little relationship with him at the time. But what I'm trying to say is I became of value to him. I hate, and everybody's different, but I'm going to tell people, stop getting so overwhelmed in front of celebrities.
It's annoying.
Add value.
That's
because
wild.
I promise you, they're just like us. Add value. And don't think like you can't add value. Anybody I meet, I feel like I can add value. You know, I'm friends with a lot of brands. I'm friends with a lot of people. I've done a lot of collaborations. I meet a person for the first time. Oh, Premium, how you doing? Well, that's a nice jacket. Yeah, members only. I wish I could find more. I know the owners if you want. Maybe I could possibly see if we could do like a collab. Really? Right off the bat, I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm not saying, I'm just thinking. You add in value. You add value. And now I'm going to take a piece of that fucking collab.
I hear that.
I mean? Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, Shipes is a hustler. I mean, you know, he's been responsible for, I don't think he gets a lot of credit that he deserves, to be honest with you. And he's not that type of kid, you know, to like say, I deserve my credit. And I think your work should speak for itself. Here's the thing I don't only like. People only see what they see you put on social. If I wanted, I could have put 100 things of contracts that I signed. I could put me in front of cars. I could put me, you know, look, I don't got a bracelet. I don't got a watch. I don't got a chain. And nothing against anybody who has it. I'm just saying my values have totally became different. And we live in a world where people see on Instagram, he's really doing it big. I want to give you an example. There's a kid named D. Sickle. He's a graphic designer, a friend of mine for years. He really was a great supportive person of me. He made the You Gotta Eat This logo. When I had Sneaker Tube many years ago, he made that logo. Just a real supportive kid. Like, yo, here, I'm good at what I do. Take this and go be great. And I really appreciate him. And I don't want to lose the fucking chain of thought. You know what's so funny? When I think about certain people, I get heartfelt, and I'm going to lose the fucking chain of thought. What were you asking me? Shipes. So what I mean is you know, somebody was seeing him on a sneaker line one time. This is like 2012. I was like, yo, D. Sickle, right? He's like, you're friends with Premium Pete, right? He goes, yeah. He goes, let me ask you something. Is that guy rich or something? And he goes, no, why? He goes, well, I see him eating lobster all the time and lobster rolls. I figured he was rich. These are the way, oh, my bad. Sorry, Mike. These are the way people think. That just because you're eating lobster you're good, fucking rich. So the point I'm trying to make is, you know, sometimes people are really working even if they're not showing you on social. And there's nothing wrong with not showing everybody everything you're doing. I think there's ways to go about it, you know. And that's just my opinion. That's for another whole, you know, conversation. But I think that, you know, Shipes is a guy that, like I said, is not looking for those flowers, but deserves them. He's a great guy, and he doesn't do a lot of interviews, so I really enjoyed that he sat down. And again, I really try, to be honest with you, I don't even like the word podcasting anymore. I love conversations. I truly like to tell people stories. I really do. I really like full fucking stories, like your mother and father, like what did they do? How did you grow up? Really get that understanding of these people. Like I've sat down with big voices. Like, how much did you like your voice? Like, why would you ask somebody who has a great voice? Yeah, I didn't like my voice. Meaning people saying it.
Yeah, I really don't like my voice like that neither.
But
like,
see what I'm saying? And you're somebody who's building something. Most people are like, oh yeah, I fuck with them. I've had people tell me they love my voice. Sometimes I don't like.
I don't like my voice. I cringe when I watch a video of me talking. Like shit.
It is weird. It is weird.
Sound like?
And here's another thing. There's levels to this shit of celebrityness. Most people think they do a podcast, they think they're fucking famous. Your mother doesn't know who I am. Your father doesn't know who I am.
Nah, not yet.
But what I'm saying is, hear me. Be present in that bucket. It's not wrong. In certain buckets, I'm known of this. In certain buckets, you're known of this. Don't get mad when somebody doesn't know who you are. Learn how to figure out how to let them know who you are. I've had people apologize to me, they see people going crazy over meeting me and like,
who the fuck is this guy? Why they on next to him?
And I'm like, no, it's all good. It's all good. Look me up and check me out. I appreciate it.
That's just very humble. A lot of people would have been mad.
When you know where you're going, you don't have to worry about who knows. They're gonna see.
They're gonna see. I like
and
that.
I think when you for me, I told you I lived a lot of my life in the dark. I've been arrested, spent many years in jail. Not sure. I also spent many years trying to figure it out. Like honestly, just trying to how to cut teeth, how to make money in this industry, and doing what you love, and getting paid for it. That's fucking amazing.
Beautiful.
I'll give you an example.
It's beautiful.
This one actor I met, he's been on a lot of films, but he's not the biggest actor, but he's a great guy. We had when you break for lunch or dinner, they've had to feed you and you sit down and you eat with the cast. I remember him looking at me, and I remember this kid from the neighborhood that I grew up in, and he was like, "Could you believe we're getting paid for this?"
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, kind of like, I don't even give a fuck about the money they're giving me because this is my first thing. It's very little money. Meaning, whenever you get, you look at some of these actors that do these things at a young first time. There's Ice-T made 20-something thousand for New Jack City.
New Jack City. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is he would have paid them $20,000 when he looks back at it.
Yeah.
The opportunity. That's the thing. Don't be afraid about opportunity. And I don't want to keep on talking because I feel like I'm talking so much. But I'll say one more thing too. And if you have anything else you want to ask me before you wrap this up. But I will say, when I say never ever stop believing in you, it's really a way of life. What you can do, and I mean this, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. What you could do if you never ever stop believing in you is insane. But you have to surround yourself with people who believe in it as well. Look, I have friends that I grew up with I had to cut out of my life. I never thought that this would be it. And they didn't do anything that crazy to me, but they don't believe in me. But then they want to believe when the money comes and they want to believe in this.
They're your friends again.
I remember the first time, and I'm going to give this lesson to the internets right now. I remember the first time I was doing Combat Jack show. This is maybe 2010. I did a couple episodes. My friend says, "What do you think, you're a radio guy now? You never did radio before." And I says, no, we got something good going. I think it's going to be good. And he goes, and this is the next biggest question that people ask you when you do freelance stuff. Oh, how much you making from it? And there was no money in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we're not making, you're an asshole. You're wasting your time. Yeah. Well, that wasting my time brought me around the world. I've been to Japan. I've been in Japan. I had someone say, a Japanese guy write to me and be like, how long are you going to be there? I want to come take a picture with you. I used to listen to Combat Jack show in high school. Japanese kid.
Wow.
Well, first of all, Japanese people love hip hop.
They love
like,
hip-hop.
meaning I love how. First of all, international. I love how they love. I wish we would be better like that. They're not afraid. Then you know how we're like, yo, no homo, but
I like your album.
I like your album. Pause. You know, it's like, yo, these dudes are like, they know every word. So, but the point I'm trying to make is, if you never, and I'm not trying to be a fucking preacher, if you never ever stop believing in you, I promise you, even through the tough times, and even if you have to put that blanket over your head one day for a couple hours, just don't keep it there long. You have no idea what the magic that will happen. But you also have to be satisfied. And I don't mean satisfied where you sit and you're okay, but I mean where, you know, you got to pick. You can't be like one of those people you're never fucking happy. And I do want to say this. Life is fucking short. I promise you that. So don't be afraid to celebrate your wins. Sometimes you can give a little pat on your back. Sometimes people say, oh, well, when I get to where I'm going, you might die. I'm not saying take off for a fucking month, but I'm saying, like, yo. And one last, I'm saying too many things now, but I'm going to give one last thing. And no matter what you do, please always focus on your mental health. If you're involved in doing a lot of things, make sure you take time to recharge your batteries, recharge your mind. It is, as a creative, and I'm always creative first. I care about creators. That's a part of the reason why I came here today, because you're a creator. And if we don't push creators along, how we expect them to make it? You know, when I was coming up, there wasn't people saying, "I'll come on." You know, they didn't even know what the fuck is a podcast.
What the fuck is a podcast?
I remember Ice-T was like, "Hey, Combat, AP, I don't know what the fuck a podcast is, but I'll come fuck with you." You know,
That's dope.
but yeah, I think, my advice to you guys is put a title on it. So when you bring somebody back, so what I like to do with podcasting is when I have a guest on, and I brought a lot of people back, the return of Bun B or the return of this. And the reason why I do that for is because the first episode I do will go over the person's full life, and the second one is catching up. Yo, so what's been going on since then? But I think there's always ways to put titles to things. You know, meaning like entrepreneurship conversations, or never giving up, or prison reform, or, you know, there's a lot of ways you could do things. Again, and stop only thinking like a podcaster, you know, and invest in what you believe in. I see a lot of people, you know, they want to get like these contracts, like, and you know, and do business, but not hire a lawyer. If you got a $15,000 deal coming in, whatever, I'm just making this up, spend $1,000 on the lawyer, or else you might, or spend $2,000 on the lawyer, or else you might be fucking screwed, you know?
That's facts. That's dead ass facts.
You know, it's, you know, it's, you got to invest in, you know, again, there's equipment. I could give you equipment, you know, maybe $1,200 to start a podcast. Invest in it. It's your equipment.
You ain't lying. You definitely ain't lying there.
How are people going to take you serious, man, if you don't invest in your shit, man? People believe in people who believe in them.
Themselves. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
we made it here, and I will say this, though. You know, a lot of people look at numbers. For me, I never did. I looked at inspiring people. I'm addicted to inspiring people. You know, like, I'm just being honest, like, meaning, like, giving people that helping hand, or, you know, or if they feel lost, or, you know, being able to hear something that may change their life. You know, like I said, I've gotten people. I have somebody send me a picture in a train in Jakarta, tell me that they were listening. But it's not about listening. It's not about, oh, I got this amount of downloads. It's about somebody saying, like, yo, I wanted to kill myself, or I wanted to give up on life, or I wanted to not, or I thought it wasn't possible, and I listened to this. And that's the thing. It's not, again, you know, most people don't get that, but it's, you know,
It's really about the people.
it is.
I'm about to.
I like it.
Record label. This is the trucker hat.
Look at that.
This is the T-shirt we got for you. We got a couple of masks in here.
Yeah, we
I
came
like the
bearing
rips
gifts.
on it, man.
We came bearing gifts.
We're here to, you know.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for coming through
Appreciate
today.
it, of course.
It means a lot.
Appreciate
This
it.
is awesome.
Hey, listen, man. Most people, you know, won't put the work in. Thank you again for this. Most people won't put the work in to, you know. A lot of people want to know what's in it for them. You know, and I'm here to say, man. You know, I remember a point in time in life where it was very dark, and to be able to not only bring light to a room, but maybe bring light to somebody else. I could show you where the water is. You're going to have to get a cup and learn how to drink it. But the point I'm trying to make is, to me, that's what helps me sleep at night. Being able to help other people and change their life or do things like that. And again, forget about a podcast. It's just about building from one thing to the other, So as crazy as that sounds, but
Nah, it's not that crazy. That's a fact. A lot of facts was dropped on this episode. This is 1P in the pod today. Pashi ain't here. PTAs is crazy with all her 15 kids.
She got 15 kids, really?
Nah, she got 8. We just, exaggerate the number. It's a running joke. It'll be 15 today. It'll be 20 tomorrow.
No doubt. Shouts to her.
Shout out to Pashi.
Family first.
Family first. There's 2 P's in the pod. To my left is Premium P, and we out here.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Prez, aka Cheap Allegations. Poppy, thank you for watching 2 P's. Well, 1P in the pod today. Pashi ain't here. She gotta go food shopping, dinners and stuff with the kids, all 15 of them. We powered by Young Atlas. Hit the subscribe button. Throw me some likes. Throw me some comments. Ladies, every comment, breakfast on me, beloved. Psych.